Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum dear students. We're going to start our week 6 for grade 6 English. Today's topic is reinforcement of novel Narnia, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, chapter number 1 till. In resource we have our novel, methodology, audio aids, explanations and homework assignment. The learning objectives are: students will be able to comprehend and revise the chapters, answer the given questions about important information, solve the multiple choice questions. Chapter number 1, Lucy looks into the wardrobe. In chapter number 1, if we recall, this first chapter immediately situates the reader, pulling him into the narratives and reducing into the wonders of Narnia. It was a wartime, and we knew that the children, those 4 children, were staying with the professor due to a wartime to avoid all the air raids in those days. Lucy is the youngest of the children and perhaps the most apt to believe in the fantasy. So Lucy was the one who enters into the fantasy world. As we all know that the genre of this novel is fantasy. She is also the first to peek into the wardrobe that leads into Narnia. And she experienced so many new things, and she was the one who wanted to make her siblings believe on certain things. The soft fur coats hanging in the wardrobe transforms into cold, prickly fir trees. Lucy has discovered a doorway into a fantasy land, and the lamppost, though an odd sight in the middle of wood. When she came to know that something is crunching under her feet, that was the snow. For Lucy, the lamppost is the first signal that the wood she has entered is not a regular wood, closely followed by the second signal, the appearance of the fawn. She met there a fawn, a person who was half animal and half human, and she became a very good friend with fawn. What Lucy found there? Chapter number 2. In chapter number 2, Lucy's encounter with the fawn confirms 3 things about Lucy's identity in Narnia. She is a girl, a daughter of Eve, and a human. These 3 facts cleverly allude to 3 different ways of reading the story. Now, Mr. Tumnus was actually in search of the humans, and he was very much surprised when he met with the daughter of Eve, and she is actually a girl. So all these 3 things are related to Lucy. Mr. Tumnus educates Lucy about the forest. He told all the magical things related to the forest, that the Queen of Narnia who rules the forest, and there was no Christmas, it would be remain snowy. Friendship and food are continually linked through the narrative, as Mr. Tumnus invited Lucy to his cave, where Lucy enjoyed a very good tea, and she learned so much new things about nymphs and dwarfs and other magical worlds. Lucy's belief that Mr. Tumnus is a good fawn, reinforcing her tendency to believe in the inherent goodness of people. So, as we learned about Lucy's positivity in her character, that she believes on goodness, she was a kind-hearted girl, and she sees goodness in everything. That was why she couldn't see the other side of Mr. Tumnus. She could only found that Mr. Tumnus was a good person, and she made him a good friend. Advent and the wardrobe. chapter number 3. In chapter number 3, in this chapter, an essential difference between Narnia and the real world is revealed. The two places have different timelines. That we came to know when Lucy came back from the cave of Fawn. She came back to her siblings and she wanted to make sure that she has been there for long hours, for long 2, 3, 4 hours. But the siblings were not believing on her. They were saying that you just have gone and we have started the breakfast and you have just returned. While Lucy feels as though she has been away for hours and hours, she emerges from the wardrobe to discover that no time at all has passed. That was very strange for her. When Lucy tells her siblings about Narnia, she is upset by the fact that they do not believe her, though she is a truthful girl. She never believes on lies. She never told lies. Edmund follows Lucy with the intention of teasing her sister, not out of desire to prove or disapprove the existence of Narnia. She actually wanted to bully her, as we came to know in Edmund's character that Edmund was sort of a person who had always negative intentions, who wanted to bully her sister, who wanted to bully his sister always. When Edmund arrives at the same lamppost that his sister encountered earlier, he meets not Mr. Tumnus, but White Witch herself, suggesting the divergent paths that Lucy and Edmund have. So, when Lucy went to Narnia, she met Mr. Tumnus, who was a good friend and a better person, seems to be a better person. But when Edmund went there, he met White Witch. She was basically the most negative person of the novel, the antagonist actually. And that makes us clear that how Lucy and Edmund has different personalities. Lucy has negative, always positive intentions, and Edmund has negative intentions most of the time. So that was why the persons they met are same as well. Okay students, and now recap. In recap, just have a look that we have done chapter number 1. Lucy looks into a wardrobe. We have discussed all the details. Chapter number 2, what Lucy found there. Again, we have discussed it. And number 3 chapter, Edmund and the wardrobe, how Edmund met the White Witch. And bibliography, it's a link given to you to just check some of the online questions or quizzes. So you will be able to do the assignment that is quite comprehensive. You will be able to do it independently yourself. It's good luck.